Hey, I think it's a pretty good day to go fishing. What do you think? Gonna take the 1980 Sylvan Deep V Rodmaster 9.8 Tohatsu kicker motor out. Looks like we're gonna have fairly calm winds, which is good. I'm glad you came along. Let's see if I can't find this boat ramp. Get out there on the water. Catch a few fish. Coming right up. Looks like a beautiful day here at Patoka Lake. Boy, I love these calm winds. Get the Sylvan ready to put in the water. All right, another successful launch on the Sylvan. Got it all set up there, ready to go. Every time I launch this Sylvan, it's going to become a little bit easier, and I'm going to get a little bit more experience. It wasn't quite as intimidating this second time as it was the first time. I'm interested to see what the Tohatsu 9.8 will do for it. I'm pretty excited to get her back out on the water. This is Patoka Lake, and it is beautiful if you haven't been. All right, got the Tohatsu all fired up and ready to go. Pretty smooth little machine here. Gonna go ahead and put it in gear and throw it out here and see what happens. Yeah, this Tohatsu was a good investment right here. This boat ramp I just got finished using is right next to a campground, and so there's campers right there. Firing up this little Tohatsu right here and just kind of cruising out there nice and slow was pretty nice. I kind of like that. Seems to be moving the Sylvan along pretty good. Had a pretty good clip right here. I've got it probably, I don't know, somewhere maybe about half throttle. I think I'm going back to where I was the first time and see if I can't catch that same crappie again. Glad you came along. Boy, what a beautiful day. It is just gorgeous out here. Alright, it feels pretty good to have made the right decision. That little Tohatsu 9.8 is perfect. That's why I like coming to Patoka Lake. Things like that. Great blue heron just cruising by. Looking for a spot to fish, no doubt. It was so nice to be able to put the Sylvan in the water, be able to fire up the little 9.8. It's so quiet and just kind of creep out of there, probably without waking anybody up. Here in a little while, I'll fire up the Chrysler. It's a lot louder, but a lot more power. If you're ever thinking about buying you a fishing boat, now this isn't a pleasure boat, this is more of a fishing boat, but it cruises pretty good through the water. It'd pull a raft or a skier if you wanted it. If you ever buy a boat, be sure and buy the boat large enough. What I'm finding out, it's almost like when somebody builds a garage or a pole barn. They think, okay, this will be big enough, and in no time you fill it up. Well, I'm by myself, and I have almost every place on here filled up with some part of gear. Of course, that's part of having a YouTube channel. You have a lot of camera gear, you have tripods, you have things like that that do take up space. It doesn't take long to fill a boat up pretty fast with fishing gear and tackle boxes and extra things, you know. So be sure and buy that boat big enough for you and your friends and your family. Still kind of working on my launch technique. It went pretty good. What I've got to get me is some taller boots. The boots I have there come to about right here, and I want some official knee-high boots. It doesn't take long for you to swamp the boots out. And once you do, why even have the boots on, right? As weather gets warmer, that's no big deal. But once the fall comes along and you start fishing in cooler water, you don't want to swamp your boats. You don't want to get everything all wet. Fortunately today, it is a nice day. Get about 80 degrees. So the old flip-flops are going to work just right. Man, what a difference. First time I took out the Sylvan, I was sitting right here. This is where I got stuck up on a stump. This is where I got my anchor stuck. So windy, it was just blowing me everywhere. Now it's just totally calm. Although I do have an anchor down right now, even the fog is drifting just a little bit. It's supposed to pick up about 8 miles an hour today, so eventually it'll get a little bit windy. Yeah, it's pretty nice being out on the water. Got to admit that. Hot cup of coffee. Yeah, you can see what kind of fisherman I am. A lot of people just can't wait to throw a line in, huh? Not necessarily in any hurry. I figure the fish are down there. Whenever I decide to throw something, if they want it, they'll take it. If not, oh well. Might be one of those days I get skunked, who knows? But anyways, here's cheers to being out on the water. Cheers to the 1980 Sylvan, to the 9.8 Tohatsu, 1979 Chrysler 85 horse that's going to rocket me through this smooth water. Hey, it's a pretty good day. Glad you came along. Didn't bring no donuts, don't eat donuts. Got some good coffee though. Okay, I think what I'm going to throw today is one of my favorites. This is the Gulp Watermelon Pearl, 3-inch minnow watermelon pearl. These are pretty good. I've had good luck for years with these. These and rooster tails are probably my favorite. Some of these big bite baits. Some of these big bite baits right here. And that's what I'm going to rig it up with. Along with that, I'll put a spinner on. So there's what that looks like right there. And that's just a little spinner and these little big bite baits that I got at Academy Sports. Good, got a little red eye on him. Now what I'll do is I'll take that little minnow and I'll put that little minnow on there, and that's a pretty nice little... There's that little minnow right there. I tell you what, that is a, woo, you see that stuff flying off there? It's got a pretty strong scent to it. It's 400 more times scent than your normal bait like this. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but to me it smells kind of like garlic in a way. It looks like there's fish swimming underneath me. I am going to go ahead and shut that fish finder off. I don't need that thing beeping all day long like that. That doesn't make much sense. So I'll just put this on there like that, right into his nose, curl around. And then it's always good to try to have it come up about like that right there. That's pretty nice. That's a pretty good little system right there. So that'll swim through the water like that. That little tail will flip around like this. Let's see if we can't catch some fish. Pick off my little rooster tail I had on there last time. This is always nice to have you a pair of, you know, these are nail clippers. And on a little lanyard like this, works pretty good. This one actually says Gander Mountain. Used to work at Gander Mountain. Used to run part of the firearm department back there, and clothing, shoes, camping, canoes, things like that. Never did work the fishing department, but boy, we had some real professionals that worked the fishing department. John Hirschman was one of them. Man, he was good. He was one time ranked, I think, number 3 in the state of Indiana as a pro. Oh, yeah, I just heard the fish finder go off. I'm going to shut that baby off. Don't want to hear that beep beep all the time. Oh yeah, one in the boat. Phew. All right. It's a nice little bluegill right there. All right. Oh yeah, nice. Oh, look out. Bluegill in the boat. Bluegill in the boat. Come here, buddy. Come here. Come here, buddy. Come here, buddy. Come here. Come here, buddy. Ah. Bluegill in the boat. There we go. That's a nice little fish right there. All right, didn't get skunked. It's still early too. Nice. All right, buddy. See you later. All right. Woo, number 2 in the boat. Pretty small little guys though. Gonna have to get your big brothers up here in line. There you go. Yeah, pretty little fish, but little fish. All right, buddy. See you later. Oh, number 3. All right. What's going on here? Catching all the grade school ones. All right, boys. We're going to have to get your brothers in here, your big brothers. Okay, so here's the Tohatsu, the 9.8, and I'm going to open her up wide open. Well, there it is, wide open right there. Okay, I got to be careful where I'm at here because I don't know, and I see a buoy. I don't know. I've got to really figure out what all these buoys mean out here. I got to study up on them and make sure that I know what they all mean. Well, it's a beautiful lake. Patoka Lake is sure beautiful. Caught a bunch of little bluegills. Looking for something a little bit larger to grab on the line. Okay, so here's this buoy right here, and it says 10. So I'm thinking that means 10 mile an hour limit through here. Taking her pretty slow through here. You know, I see the graph up there. It looks to me like there's a lot of trees and stuff sticking up down below. I'm about 30 feet of water, but still a lot of stuff sticking straight out of the bottom, coming straight up. So there must be a lot of woods in here, a lot of trees and stuff. Patoka Lake's got me just a little bit spooked. I've got a video that I took a John boat out. I guess it was last fall, late summer into the fall, and man, I got into a bad area on the east side over there. A lot of stumps, a lot of stuff like that. So I'm a little bit spooked, and I really don't want to hit anything out here, so I'm just kind of trying to learn the lake. I just found something out that's pretty nice on the Sylvan, and that is it has a cigarette lighter, which is nice because I can plug my batteries in, make sure my batteries stay charged up. That's a pretty nice deal right there. Being a YouTube creator, that's one thing that when you deal with all this camera equipment stuff in remote settings like this, your batteries are everything. If your battery goes bad, you're done. Filming's over with. There's nothing you can do. You can't crank the cameras and give them juice or anything like that. You want to make sure you always have plenty of batteries, and as they go bad, you put them on chargers if you can. Very important. Hey! All right. Uh-oh. Look at that. All right. How'd that happen? There we go. Wow. All right. Come here, buddy. Another small bluegill. All right, Chrysler is fired up. I'm going to go ahead and take it for a little spin. I'm going to look at my map and find out where I'm at on the lake and get out in the channel and just kind of run it for a little bit and just see how it does. Just see how it does at slow speeds, and want to make sure though if I decide to take off pretty fast, I got everything up out of the water and everything, nothing's going to blow away on me, because when it runs fast, it's really fast. All right, let me get everything ready. It's kind of interesting. I'm really starting to learn to watch my graphs, and you could really see just now I went off into real deep water. Yeah, that's pretty important. I learned Patoka Lake. I want to really do some studying on it and make sure I know where all the hazards are and things like that. You know, before I got this boat, I figured, you know, you're out driving around, it's no big deal. You know, you just go anywhere you want. But I tell you what, a lake like this, you can't do that. You know, there's stuff sticking up everywhere. It seems like even right out in the middle. Right now I'm in about 30 feet of water. And I put that hydrofoil back on. This is the first time I've ran the Chrysler 85 horsepower with the hydrofoil on it. Let's see if it makes a difference. And the Tohatsu 9.8, I went ahead and kicked it up just a little bit, about halfway. Not all the way up, but about halfway. I figured that'd be the best thing to do. I'm going to watch it too. This is the one thing I don't understand about Patoka Lake, and I know I'm a beginner, so I've got to just figure this out. But see, it seems like I'm way out here in the channel, but look at all these trees that are sticking up right here. So that kind of freaks me out. I don't know. My graph up here is showing, you know, it's showing a pretty clear bottom. Here comes a bunch of stuff coming up right now. So I don't know. It just comes down to me learning this stuff. I don't want to seem like I'm complaining about anything. You know, I just don't know. I'm a beginner. So it's important to me for safety reasons, you know, for my boat, for my family, for myself, to be able to figure all this out so I don't go cruising at 30 mile an hour and run right up on a tree or something. That would not have a good ending, I wouldn't think. All right, let's cruise. Okay, what I'm finding out is the hydrofoil really keeps the bow down. It helps keep the bow down, like cruising. This is probably about half throttle. It's just keeping the bow down, which is pretty nice. I kind of like that. I think I'll keep the hydrofoil on here. Dang strap. Oh boy, I gotta try to secure it a little bit. There we go. There we go, Mr. Strap. Okay, anyways, You can see that the Chrysler 85 horsepower, 1979 85 horsepower is strong. Boy, this water's so calm out here. I'm gonna open her up. I have not opened her up yet. I'm gonna go ahead and open her up and see how she'll go. And then we'll practice a few turns out here. This is a nice area right here. Man, unbelievable. First, I'm gonna go see what these buoys say over here. I'm in about 50 feet of water. It says no ski zone, so I guess you can't ski where I just came through that narrow. You can't ski, but out in here, I guess it's okay. It's pretty deep, and right over here is the dam. Let me get you a shot of that dam behind me. Yeah, right back there's the dam. That's the dam, and then the Patoka River goes on down through Jasper and beyond. Probably all the way down to the White River and then into the Wabash. All right, I'm going to open her up here a little bit. We're in about 50 feet of water. Should be good. Put your hat on backwards. Okay, you can see the Chrysler runs pretty good. Man, unbelievable. I'm kind of wondering how much torque I was putting on the 9.9 Tohatsu back there, because when I let up on it, I saw the Tohatsu kind of just go forward just a little bit. So I would imagine when I'm going that fast, that Tohatsu is putting a lot of pressure on that new bracket that I put on there. So I'm going to get back there and check that out and make sure everything looks okay. But yeah, that 85 Chrysler, man, that is one powerful engine. Tohatsu fires right up. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do some fishing over here. Oh, yeah. I think they're getting smaller. Hey, buddy, what are you doing? School must be out. You guys all must be on summer break already or something. Too many little kids out here messing around. Got something pretty big this time. Come on, buddy. Come on up here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. I almost bought me a net. I should have bought one. Come on. Oh, golly. Wow. Come on. Come on, buddy. Come on. Come on. Oh. Holy cow. Holy cow. Oh, my God. Oh, it's a catfish. It's a giant catfish. Wow. Wow. Come on, buddy. Come on. Come on, buddy. Yeah. Woo. Now that's a catfish for you. Woo. Wow. I don't even have any scales on me. I don't even know. Man, that's a big catfish right there. Hello, son. Oh, look at that. Just broke my line. Wow. That's pretty awesome. Oh, the joy of fishing. All right, let me get this guy together. All right. All right, he's getting mad. He wants back in the water. That was a heck of an operation right there, but I got that little hook out of him, and he's ready to go back in. So that's pretty nice little catfish right there. Wow, wow. Okay, he's starting to bark at me. I'm putting him back in. Later, buddy. Nice whiskers. Now, as far as a catfish goes, that wasn't giant. Man, I thought it was a bass. But one thing taught me, I'm definitely going to get a net next time I come, because to pull that from the water all the way into the Sylvan, that's about that far off the water. That's too far. I need a net. Big, big fish. Caught that on one of them little gulp minnows with a little spinner on it. Man, he hit it hard, too. Can't believe my line broke right when he was on the boat right here. I think I have 10-pound line, maybe 12-pound line on here. That makes for a fun day of fishing right there when you catch fish like that. I'm going to get my cheater glasses back on. I'm going to rig me up probably another gulp worm. Try it again. So I have a question for you. Do you think fish communicate with each other? So I guess what I'm asking is, that catfish right there, he lives right in this area, I'm sure. I'm sure probably fish, they don't travel, they don't go on vacation, they're not like, they don't decide to go to the other side of the lake for a weekend or something like that. I'm sure he lives around here, and I'm sure his buddies and his family's all around here. So do you think when he went back in the water, do you think that he goes back in there and tells everybody else, man, don't be biting those gulp little minnow things when they go by, even though they look tempting? Because there's a guy up there that'll do some operation on you. Woo, my glasses are fogged up. There's a guy on top of the water that's going to operate on you live and in person. I don't know. I don't know. I tend to think they don't. I tend to think animals like that are just instinctive. They operate, they go through life just instinctively wanting food and shelter and things like that, but they don't really think about things and have a conversation. Write it in the comments. Tell me what you think. Do they communicate? The spinner actually came loose. I was able to get it off, and then that hook was like wedged underneath that big jawbone that he's got. Had to go in there with some clippers, and these guys really, really helped out a lot, because I was able to pin his lip and keep his mouth open. If not, you know, they'll clamp down their mouths hard. These little needle nose right here to get in there and pop it out. So it worked out pretty good. That seems odd to me to catch a catfish like at noon, right at noon. I think it's right at noon up here. It just seems like, I thought catfish, usually fish catfish at night. Is that unusual for a catfish to bite like that in the middle of the day like this? I noticed there's some gigantic carp, bigger than he is, down swimming around here. So does catfish and carp get along? Do they just not pay attention to each other? What's the deal there? I don't know. I hate seeing those carp. I don't like carp. They're invasive, you know. They've attacked every bit of water around the Midwest. I know they're trying different things to try to keep them out of the Great Lakes. I don't know if they've been successful. If you're a subscriber, if you subscribe to the channel or you follow the channel, you know I've posted some things here lately about going to the dermatologist. And basically, they found a small little place on my back. They went and removed an area. They did a biopsy on it. Now they called me back in a week, said, come on back. We got to do some more cutting. They cut a section out, probably about 2 inch by 2 inch, something like that. I was pretty concerned about it that he'd call me back and say, no, we didn't get it. Now we got to go through a more extensive procedure. But they went ahead and got it. I've had stitches for a couple weeks now. I actually get them out on Friday, which is good, and everything seems to be clear. But I'll show you where the spot was. It's right here on my back, and I should have I've got that Band-Aid back there, and you can see it. The reason I'm showing that to you is the bottom line is, hey, look, if you're like me and you like to go outdoors and you like, hiking and canoeing and mountain climbing and fishing and hunting and all that kind of stuff, if you've been out in the sun a lot, set yourself an appointment up with a dermatologist. Let them just look at you. That's all it takes. It doesn't take more than 15 minutes. That's a life-saving procedure that she did there, because if she didn't catch that, there's a chance that those cells could eradicate and become melanoma, and that's not good, and that will kill you. In fact, I just watched my neighbor, a good neighbor of mine that I've known for 40 years, die of melanoma. It's not funny. It's nothing to mess around with. Get yourself checked out, and if you have a spot on there, they'll take care of it. Hey, if they've got to do something, don't worry about it. Just look at it as be glad that they caught it when they... And every one of them are hitting on these gulp worms right here. And this is the watermelon pearl. Here it is right here. These guys, I got these at Academy Sports, Big Bite Baits. Big Bite Baits. So that's a pretty good combination. I'm going to go ahead and stick with it. Hey, if something's working, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to keep it. Hey, also, in the comments, let me know if you've ever fished Patoka Lake before. Patoka Lake is such a nice place. And you can see, like today, it's a beautiful day out here. And, you know, there may be a dozen boats I've seen out here, not very many of them all. Now, things will change this weekend. You know, by the time the weekend comes along, if we have a nice weekend, now this place gets pretty crazy. And about the only time that I would be there, if I've got to be here on a weekend, what I'd do is I'd find a nice little cove like this and just hang out right here and probably anchor, probably swim, fish, you know, just relax, things like that. Because it does get busy on the weekends in the summertime. But if you're fortunate enough to be able to come here on weekdays, a lot better situation for you. Got him all hooked up, ready to go. Let's see what happens. Saying is, I was going through that tackle box, but I found this in there. I forgot I had this in there, and Dad had given this to me a while back. And this is Dad's fillet knife right here that he had. And this is a Craftsman fish fillet knife, stainless steel, made in the USA, the great, powerful USA. I've got that, and even though like I threw him back, if I was up here and I was hungry and I needed to eat, and this was a survival situation, so to speak, I would definitely be able to fillet him up. Now, I don't know if I could keep him for 2 or 3 days or not, so I may have to just eat him all at one time. You know, without having salt or cold or anything like that, it's possible. Anyways, thank you, Dad. I appreciate it. And speaking of Dad, you know, that's the main reason why I got the Sylvan, is to bring him out here and we could start fishing this spring and into the summer. He's gotten a little nervous about it. He's not sure he wants to go, and that's not a problem. I can't force the issue, and I shouldn't force the issue. So hopefully he'll change his mind. He'll want to come out. Now, he does want to play tennis, and we are going to go play tennis. He was a great tennis player, and we're going to go out and we're going to hit some balls around, and we're going to do that. If he wants to go fishing, he's welcome to. If he doesn't, I'm not pushing this subject on him. Going to get me a little drink. I think I'm going to have me a little cup of coffee. Must be a bunch of little ones because they keep hitting it. Oh, look here. I actually got one on there. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. If you get multiple bites like that over and over, you know it's probably a school of these little guys. All right, see you later. Yeah, they're all hiding. There's some big rocks, and they're all hiding in the shadow of the rocks. Oh. Yeah, anytime I start getting harassed by little ones like that, I'd go ahead and move, because they're just going to eat my worms to death. One thing I noticed about the Sylvan, it does not have what I would call power steering. Man, it's manual steering, so when you're going fast like that, you gotta hold on the steering wheel, because if you let go, it would crank one way, and that engine, I bet it, I wouldn't doubt if it would flip this boat. You really gotta hold on to it tight when you crank it up like that. A lot of thrust back there, a lot of power. Alright, there's a nice little bluegill. Getting a little bit better. Not quite a keeper, but a little bit bigger. They like that gulp worm. They sure do. That watermelon color, that's a good one. Yeah, that guy's not bad. That's probably the biggest bluegill of the day so far. A lot of bluegills here. See you, buddy. Alright. I think I got me a good one this time. That's right, buddy. Come on. What are you? Come on. I've caught about a dozen bluegills, and I've caught... Whoa! 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 I need a net. I need a net. I need a net. Oh my God! This is a giant bass. This is a gigantic bass. I can't get him in here. Holy! He's gonna break my line. He's gonna break my line. Woo! This is a gigantic bass. Come on. Come on up here. Come on up here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh no, it's another catfish. Wow. This guy's giant. Look at him. Look at him. He's wanting to spin it. He's wanting to spin it off. Look at him. Look at him. He's wanting to spin it. He's wanting to spin it off. He's wanting to spin it off. He's wanting to spin it off. All right. Let's see if I can get him in here. Try to get him in the boat. Come here, Bubba. Come on, buddy catfish. Come on. Come on. Whoa, dog. Woohoo. Yeah. 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 Oh, look out. Catfish loose in the boat. Catfish loose in the boat. All right, relax, buddy. Relax. Wow. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Oh, there he goes. There he goes. Say hello to YouTube. Everybody on YouTube, say hello. Wow. Another nice catfish. Dang. But I didn't realize Patoka Lake had so many catfish in it. All right, buddy, I'll let you go. Whew. I got to get a net. That's all I can say. Woohoo. Say goodbye. Bye. 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 There he goes. Woo! Man, I thought that was a bass when I first saw it. Wow. Yeah, I gotta get a net. That's too far to try to bring them out. You can see they're barely hooked too at that tiny little hook. Good day of fishing. So I just caught that catfish, and there it is, and really, it's not even torn up. It hooked him in the lip, and it's ready to go. I appreciate you coming along today. It's been a good day of fishing. They're not all good, as we know, but boy, I tell you what, today's pretty awesome. Hey, thanks again for coming along. This is LAF Space Film Fest, capital LAF Space Film Fest. Hey, if you would, hammer down that subscribe button. Oh, and this is the Shakespeare that's slaying them today. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, not a bait caster, not a fancy rig, nothing like that. Although this is an HMG rod, which is a Fenwick rod. So I do have some pretty good rods. I just don't have real good reels, but this is slaying them, so I'm happy with it. I'll continue to put out videos like this, fishing Patoka Lake, Indiana. Some people call it the Dead Sea. Huh! I don't think so. I think there's a lot of fish at Patoka Lake. .8 Tohatsu. So what I decided to do, just caught another catfish. I think that's what it was, catfish. Got him all the way up to the boat. Same thing, pull my rod straight down. I thought I turned the camera on, it wasn't recording, and he got off. The little eye coming out of these little hook heads right here. Now, what this is a little different one than what I've been using this morning, and this is a little bit stronger. The last catfish I caught, once I got the hook out of him, and I realized that little eye, that little ring that hooks on to the spinner was broke off. Those are made for small fish. You catch something big, they're going to break on you. So that's why I decided to get a little bit beefier of a setup here. I am really surprised that I have caught 3 giant catfish like that. I mean, I've been fishing for a long time, and I just can't remember catching any catfish like that. That's kind of a first for me to catch catfish like that. Okay, so there we go. So now I got this guy all set up, and this should be a little bit stronger than the ones that I'm using. All right, what I got here? What do I have here? What do I have here? This is kind of a strange, This is a strange fish. Huh. You know, I wonder, and you fish experts are going to have to tell me this. I kind of wonder, big old bass boat cruising over there. I kind of wonder if this is what they call a smallmouth bass. Whoa! Holy cow, look at the teeth he's got in there. He's got some big old teeth in there. What is this guy? Wow. I tell you what, he could bite you for sure. Dang, I almost put my fingers in there too. I wonder if those are showing up. You see them teeth? Look at those teeth in there. All right, buddy. You're kind of a scary looking fish. I'd rather handle those catfish than you. All right, I'll see you later. Hang in there. Don't bite nobody. So what was that? Maybe, you know, it seemed like I've heard something about a fish called like a slogger maybe, or something like that. I don't know. What was that fish? Leave it in the comments. I don't know what that was. Patoka Lake, Indiana. Fish out here I don't even know of. Come on, Bubba. Come on, Bubba. Easy. Easy, Bubba. Hey, I think it's another one of those fish. Whoa! Yeah. Yeah, it's another one of those. What the heck are those things? Tell you what, I'm not going to stick my finger in there. No way. No way. That guy looks like he put the bite to you. Wow. Come here, bub. Gonna hurt just a little bit. You don't like that. I can imagine. I bet it stings. Fingers in that guy, no way. Man, he got a heck of a... Oh, boy, look out. Yeah. What are those? Who can tell me? What kind of a fish is that right there? Look at that dude. And there's the, once again, look at them teeth on that guy. Wow. You know, kind of looks like what they call flying fish. I don't know. All right, bud. That's a little bit bigger than that last one I just caught. Man, there might be a whole school of them here. I'm going to try it again. You know, I've joked on my channel before about the LAF fishing show. But, you know, I wasn't really serious about it. But there's so many fishing channels out there. Got me all coughed up. Good stuff there. There's so many fishing channels out there. We don't even have a fishing channel. But, you know, maybe a beginner fishing channel. You know, somebody really don't know what they're doing, but they're doing pretty good. Like today. Today's a good day of fishing, I tell you that. Very good day. I'm gonna try to catch a few more of those. Maybe they're like some kind of a freshwater shark. Okay, in case anybody's interested, I've got a log out here. Can you see that log? See that log in the water right there? And I'm way back here, tucked pretty far back in this little cove back here. And I've got that log that lays there. And then right there's the end of it, so it really gets shallow. Now I have seen some pretty good sized carp coming by too, you know, something probably almost 2 feet long coming down through here. And they look like submarines. They're just cruising, and I don't even try to catch them. I'm not so sure you can catch them, but I don't want to catch one of those. But the other fish that I've been catching, I'm throwing it out there just right at that log, right before it hits the log. And sometimes I'm actually bouncing it off the log and it's dropping on this side. I'll let it sink down and then I'm drawing it back real slow, just real slow through the water. Bam, they're hitting it. So I casted probably at least another dozen times, and all of a sudden they went cold. So maybe that's it. Maybe they've been spooked. That carp went by just a little bit ago. Maybe that carp scares everybody out of the way. I don't know. And you can see, here's Patoka Lake, and it's not all fishermen. You can see right there. But they're cruising around. They got the music just blaring out as loud as they can. That's what Patoka Lake is on the weekends. Anytime from Memorial Day all the way to Labor Day, you're going to have that on the weekends. During the week, you'll have some of that, but most of the time you have fishermen out here, you have sportsmen out here, and then it flips over to families and people having fun and partiers on the weekend. That's just the way it rolls. Hey, you just learn to work around it. I think I'm going to pull out of this spot. I see some more fish floating over there. I'm going to pull out of this spot, maybe hit one more spot. I'm kind of working my way back so I can trailer up and head on back to the camp. Hey, I just talked to another fisherman, and they thought those were walleyes, maybe young walleyes. I know there's walleyes in here. I mean, I remember hearing about walleyes being in here, but I thought the water was too warm and they all died off. But apparently, that might have been what that was, because I haven't seen a fish like that with teeth. Not at Patoka Lake anyways. Not for a long, long time. Maybe back in the 80s I saw a few back in. Big ones. As I was windsurfing across the water, I saw a great big one. Looked like about 3 foot. Went right underneath my windsurfing board. There's also a famous tale here in Patoka Lake that when they put the walleye in, after they've been here for a while, somebody caught one. They got it up on their boat. They started looking at it, had like a baby raccoon or a baby possum in its mouth. And even with that, it went ahead and went after that guy's lure too. Craziness. Aggressive fish. That would make sense because those fish seemed like they were pretty aggressive. All right, I think I'm going to make my way back to the boat ramp. Maybe make a stop on the way. More boats coming out. All in all, that was a pretty good day. Pretty good day of fishing, pretty good day of boating. I learned a lot about the Chrysler. I think I'm starting to get a handle. You can hear it back here. It's just purring away. It's something I just have to learn how to do. Hey, thanks for coming along. Hope you enjoyed that. Hey, we're going to go again soon. 9.8 Tohatsu. Man, I can't say enough about it. That's exactly what I needed. I love being able to troll back to my fishing spots and not scare all the fish because I pull back here. And then, of course, the trolling motor. I'm having a little trouble with the foot control, but it's something I just have to learn how to do. I think I've got a better handle of Patoka Lake about going through and watching the buoys. It did me some good to see other boat traffic out there, especially the fishermen, because I could see where they're running, and a lot of times one would go by and I'd actually fall in line, follow his wake, or you could see where he'd went through the water, and I kind of followed that. You're not going to get good at anything unless you get out there and practice, especially if you're a beginner. Hey, I had no idea the walleye was still in here. I think that's what those were, the fish with with the big teeth on them. The catfish are always fun to catch, and caught a lot of bluegill. Oh, probably I'm thinking a dozen and a half bluegill. Most of them small, couple of them, well, one of them was maybe as big as my hand. Yeah, this is just the beginning of the season. We've got the rest of the spring, we got all summer, and we got into the fall. And I'm really looking forward to the cooler temperatures in the fall and the leaves changing. Gonna think about some rivers to maybe go on, but hey, I'll take you along every time. I appreciate it. It's nice to have the company. And just like me getting used to Patoka Lake, I'm getting used to the Chrysler 85 horsepower. I tell you what, I still have to figure out the combination to get it to run, especially when it's cold. But once it warms up, you hit the key, it starts up, and I went all over this lake today, and it just ran so good, and it's so powerful too. I really enjoy the Chrysler. Original equipment with the 1980 Sylvan Deep V Rodmaster boat. And of course, this little guy right here, I did a lot of research, and, the name Tohatsu kept coming up as one of the main motors in America. Sold more motors than anybody else. I believe I saw where they actually make motors for Evinrude, or used to make motors for Evinrude, and another company too. It seemed like they made the smaller motors for those companies like that. Every time, starts right up. If you're a beginner at fishing, maybe you learn from beginner Mr. Lawrence. Actually, I've been fishing for a lot of years. I just would never consider myself an expert fisherman, but I kind of know what I'm doing out there. Today kind of showed a little bit. Show you how Patoka Lake area has grown. Look at this lodge somebody's putting in. Wow. That's amazing. I never thought I'd see something like that here. You'd have a lodge like that right on the bank of the Patoka Lake if they allowed it, but it's not allowed. It's all scenic. It's all left to be a wild shoreline, and so nothing can be built on it. So that's the only thing that you'll see is about a mile outside of the park boundaries. You'll start to see things like that pop up. You have a good day. See you on the lake next time. That's a big catfish right there. Wow, wow. Okay, he's starting to bark at me. I'm putting him back in.